We would like to welcome our first guest, Dr. Adel, قطينه, consultant, plastic surgeon, dermatology, and cosmetic. Thank you so much for being with us right here on KTV2. It's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure
You have heard me in the introduction that we were talking about people who would love to improve their looks because they are taking lots of selfie pictures to post it on the line in their social media. From your own opinion, do you think that the cosmetic surgery really make the people feel better and they have more confidence?
Yeah, it's a sure thing. Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole... I mean, when we talk about plastic surgery, you're talking about aesthetic plastic surgery, not reconstructive. So aesthetic plastic surgery is the part that makes you feel better by looking better. I mean, it not only makes you feel better, but it gives you confidence, you know. Say I have a big nose and I'm looking for a job and nobody's taking me, and you know, I do my cosmetic surgery, I look better, I get the job. Young lady that's going into a relationship, marriage, whatever, small breasts, you know, she'll feel more confident if she had bigger breasts. Very simple, you know.
Make her more attractive.
Exactly, yeah. Makes
More
her
appealing.
More appealing and more confident in herself, you know.
What's the nose got to do with getting a job? I thought
mean,
that you
you know,
have to have a degree in order for you to get a job.
Yeah, that helps too. That helps
The
too.
face.
Yeah, having
If
the
you're a
degree,
handsome.
having the degree helps.
Okay.
You know, but I mean, people like attractive things, you know. If you had a company, wouldn't you like all your staff to be good looking?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, plus the degrees, you know.
But unfortunately, it becomes an addiction later on in life. Once you have one cosmetic surgery to the nose, you are going to talk about the eyebrows, and then after that, the chin, and then after that, the instruction of the whole...
We call it maintenance.
Maintenance?
Yeah, maintenance, yeah.
Okay. Which is good for your business.
It's good for my business, but I mean, thing is that there's limits, you know. There's always limits, you know. So people that go overboard, it's not a good thing. You know?
Back in the States, in order for a person to have a cosmetic surgery, they have, whether she or he, go through a process. They need to go to see a psychiatrist to ask them, why do you need it? And after that, they will go to the surgeon himself, and he might disapprove the surgery. Do we have it here in Kuwait?
No, I mean, even in the States, this is classic teaching, you know, when they say, I mean, usually the patient doesn't go see the psychiatrist and then go see the plastic surgeon. It's the plastic surgeon that might refer the patient to a psychiatrist if they feel that there's something not right, you know. But even though, I mean, it's very hard for me as a plastic surgeon to insinuate to the patient, like, there might be something psychologically wrong with you, please go and see a psychiatrist. You never go to see a psychiatrist, that's for sure. You just go to the next plastic surgeon.
Nowadays, people are not asking the right person, they are asking the social media.
Yeah.
And these people here, they give probably the wrong answers. Like, who is the best plastic surgeon in Kuwait? Who is the best psychiatrist in Kuwait, and blah, blah, blah. What do you think? This is good or bad?
I mean, social media is a platform where you can get a lot of information, you know. I mean, there's sites. I mean, if you're talking about, okay, I'm going to try and choose a plastic surgeon, and I'm consulting the social media to find where that plastic surgeon is, then there are sites that actually tell you, you know, sites that people talk about their experiences with a surgeon and that surgeon, and then you can kind of get a you know, feel of how good that plastic surgeon is. Unfortunately, social media also is a platform for slander and character defamation, and you know, so you have to be careful, really.
Fake news, that's what they call it. Fake news, fabrication, all the news. You have to get the right source.
For the benefit of certain parties, of course.
What about your business? Do you think that the social media is helping your business? Like a promotion, probably marketing?
It does help, for sure. I mean, with regards to marketing, yeah, that's a future in marketing, for sure. It does help, but also, I mean, it helps me and it helps other people that are maybe not as qualified to do the job. So it's, you know, it's kind of leaving the consumer or people that actually follow all these sites confused. Who's the best doctor? You know, and there's too many of them now, all of a sudden, you know.
I have a research here that it shows plastic surgery can lead to self-loathing, disappointment, and even suicide. What do you think? Do we have this in our society in the state of
If
Kuwait?
anybody that's going to commit suicide, it's a plastic surgeon.
What's that?
If there's anybody that's going to commit suicide, it's a plastic surgeon, not
Why?
the patient. Just joking. Really, see, you're talking about the unhappy patient. The unhappy patient, huh? I mean, yeah, maybe, yeah. I'm sure there's incidences where it took the patient down that road where he committed suicide and all that. Fortunately, we don't see that much in Kuwait. Thing is, you have to say, why is this patient unhappy? Very simple. Why is this patient unhappy? Is it because of a bad result? Yeah, we can fix it. Is it because the patient has unrealistic expectations? Then that's a problem, because you never make him happy. And then you just go on from depression to depression. There's also patients with really good results that get into depression is because they cannot accept their new form. They cannot accept their new form.
Now
But
here
that's
comes
very
the
rare.
dilemma, because this should lead to the mental disturbance to the patient himself or herself, because he's not satisfied with the results of the operation. Therefore, he goes through a meltdown.
Yeah.
Did it happen to you? Not to you personally, I mean to your
No,
patients.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of unhappy patients out there. You have to suss out what the problem is and why they're unhappy. We try and stop this process before we even operate on the patient. Sometimes it's very difficult, like patients with, you know, body dysmorphic disorder, BDD. They sometimes kind of, you know, get through the process and you operate on them, and then you find out that these people have a problem, you know. So in these cases, it's a good idea to have a psychiatrist assess the situation before you even get
What
them to
about
the
celebrities? The people here, they're trying to mimic the way they talk, or maybe the way they look, and their bodies. Do you think that here in the state of Kuwait, we have these people like yourself, like they can, you know, put somehow the face somehow close to some kind of an actress? Can you do that? Like for instance, if I want to look like Clint Eastwood, can you do that to me?
No, you don't want to look like Clint Eastwood. He's like 90 years old. Maybe, yeah, Clint Eastwood 70 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I never get these patients. These patients, of course, I'll even refuse to operate on them.
Why?
Because it's not right. Trying to look like somebody else. No, it's not, you know.
Unfortunately,
I don't get these patients anyway. So, and I think they're not with the frequency you're talking about, you know.
They're not. But the patients you treat here, because they do need the surgery because they had some kind of accident.
Accidents, or there's one body part they're not happy with and they want to change. You always can't tell who's the
or by
patient.
Birth they got you know,
exactly, birth defects
deformed,
and stuff like
yes.
that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Other than that, you don't accept any patient who want to look like somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lady that's in the news now for the last 10 years. She's trying to look like a cat.
A cat?
Yeah.
In Kuwait?
No, not in Kuwait.
In the world?
In the States.
Somewhere,
in the States,
okay.
Yeah.
What
you just go on
happened?
this cat lady and you find this 100 million surgeries just so she can look like a cat, you know. She looks like a freak, basically.
A freak?
Yeah, she's a freak.
That's pitiful.
It's true.
What is your advice of the people who are, you know, kind of obsessed with the plastic surgery? They want to do it constantly, like every other year or 3 years from now.
No, obsession. I mean, I mean, the surgeon says no. You know, the surgeon says no. You know, he has to know when he puts. We put the limits. You know, we say no, and that's it. You know, unfortunately, just go to somewhere else, another plastic surgeon down the road. But yeah, we only operate when we feel like we can give that patient a better result or a result.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Social media activates attractive more customers, or maybe probably in your field, patients, to your practice rather than traditional media.
For sure. Yeah. I mean,
Like
traditional
the
media.
social media is playing a good role for promoting your business.
Newspapers, TV, radio, that's all in the past. You know, it's social media now, actually. Problem is, now let's just, I want to say something about, you know, fashionistas and all that. I mean, fashionistas, they're all nice and dandy and we love them and all that. They shouldn't, my piece of advice here, if you're going to get anything out of this, is they should not meddle into medical affairs. They have a moral obligation. They are talking to the crowds. Not everybody is mentally mature.
No.
When they go to this clinic and that clinic and say this is the best and this is the best, they're actually pushing patients into surgeons and doctors' hands, you know.
Maybe not qualified.
They're not qualified,
No.
you know, and I mean, it's fine when they're advertising for a salon or a nail spa thing, or
That's fine.
but
But
not,
for doctor,
not
real
medical.
surgery, bloody and...
Exactly. Unless the fashionista herself does the surgery at that place, and then she can advertise for it, which is not the case usually, you know.
Now, how can I refer others to the good doctors? What exactly we need to do? Do some research.
Do your homework. Do your homework. You know, basically, word of mouth is still it's like the good old-fashioned way. Word of mouth. The social media helps. You know, some sites help kind of direct you to the best doctors, but then really you have to ask people that have done the surgery with these guys, with these doctors, and then find out. You know, it's just homework.
One final question: what about the competition in Kuwait and the rest of the GCC countries? Do you think that we are in the lead?
Oh yeah, for sure. Plastic surgery.
When we compare ourselves to the rest of the GCC countries?
50% of my patients are from Qatar, Saudi, and Bahrain.
Oh.
You know? Yeah.
50%.
Yeah, 50%. I'd say close to 50%.
And they are satisfied customers? Really? So no Clint
I hope
Eastwood,
so, huh?
no Clint Eastwood for me?
No.
Dr.
No, for
Qutayna,
sure.
it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
And
Thank you.
more power. And also, we would like to hear from you. Like you were talking about the fashionista people. What about the newcomers that would love to hear from you? Like they would love to perform some surgeries under your hands. What's your last word for that?
Newcomers?
You
I
know,
mean, people
new
that are getting
patients who,
interested.
who are reluctant to come to you.
Okay, I'm just saying, you know, they have all the time in the world. Do the research, find out about the doctor, find his qualifications, find out about the place that he does the surgery in, and all that, you know. Just don't jump into that because this fashionista said this is the best place.
Well, folks, we'd like to thank Dr. Adel Qutayne, consultant plastic surgeon, dermatology, and cosmetic.